Hello YouTube, this is AugustusLarch. Yes, tonight I had to do surgery on one of my cats. Well, I just cleaned it up. It had already had surgery done to it. Pretty much it was just a cleansing job, but one of my cats lets himself get bit in the face pretty badly, multiple times, in the same spot, over and over again. I'm wondering, you know, he should try to protect himself better. It's because I've given them bad habits. I've treated them too much like people, and indulged them in human food, and it rubs off, letting them hang around you too much, and the human contact, you know. But these cats were handled before I got them, so what am I going to do? They were already ruined. I just have them so they don't dig, woodchucks don't dig holes under my steps. It's not a good thing when you walk out in the house in the morning and your steps tip over. Kind of stuff can set a day in a bad it's a bad way to start a day. So I make sure that the woodchucks don't do that anymore. That's why I've got cats around. And I know a cat can't kill a woodchuck. So many people ask me that. I know that. But a woodchuck won't dig any holes unless it wants to have babies, and it won't have babies if there's cats around, because cats will eat their babies. Very simple. See, cats, they have a secondary effect and a primary effect. They take care of mice and vermin, and hopefully rabbits. I love my cats. I feed them enough. They're well taken care of, that they get an incentive to run down a rabbit. Like, I had a tomcat, he got ran over by a car though. Really bad traffic right by my place here. But man, gets bit in the face. I have to clean him up so he doesn't get infection. And he looks like heck. Well, it's a tomcat, you know, but I mean, he's got a big wound in his. The other tomcat bites him in the face, and it's probably because the other tomcat knows Aikido and the other one doesn't. No. Anyway, another topic I've been on. If I'm going to do a vlog, why not give it a little bit of minutes to it? So here we go. You know what this is? This is what Christians like to symbolize their beliefs with. They think it's a thing that's going to set them free and give them eternal life. And all the while they don't know that they've been enslaved. They have been enslaved. Because this is the symbol of Roman subjugation. There were Roman citizens and Roman subjects. And Roman citizens were people that were complicit to the Roman ideal. The Roman Empire. And the empire in all its vassalships and whatnot, and the organization throughout the frontier. So usually British, I mean, not British, well, what's really the difference? Romans, empire, subjugated people in the frontier and brought them back to Rome to be slaves. So, and when they ever had an uprising, or somebody were non-complicit, they got tacked up on this, and it's mostly a torture stake. It's just to torture people, really. It's a really slow death, and the whole point that they'd hang them from, and they wouldn't nail them through the wrists. They'd place a nail through the meaty portion of the arm and hang the radius, the joint of the radius and ulna, equally painful. Yes, but it was so that if the person relented and got rid of their hefty spirit and their non-compliant attitude, there was no big thing. And it didn't, if it was done by a surgeon, crucifixion was an easily repaired thing. The person could be back to work breaking rocks the next day, or that afternoon, depends on when it happened. But they usually tack people up on the cross at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yes, in the hottest part of the day. Hopefully they'd die of exposure immediately. But yeah, sometimes it went on for days, and then they could be taken down if they relented, and they'd get given a ration of food and some water and sent right back to work again. Roman subjugation. And why do people still, you know, the tradition continues? The Roman, overtly the Roman Empire may be gone, but all of their function and organization still exists. As you can see, if you drive by buildings, there's a nice usually white painted building. Sometimes brick and a lot of materials piled together in one spot. And it's a nice building, and it's got a cross. And look at that. Cross. Roman subjugation. That's all this means, is I'm a subject. I'm a subject of the empire. And I don't ask questions. That's being non-complicit. We know what happens to non-complicit people, even though we worship the man. We act the opposite of his teachings. Because we're Christians. And we really don't think for ourselves. I mean, and the world, we get rewarded for that. And that's our reward on earth, and we have a reward in heaven. Because we know this. We have this. We have to have this piece of wood. Anyway, this is AugustusLarch, and I'm doing a vlog.